All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Paul O'Neid, online coach, owner of Master Athletic Performance, and lead educator at Coach's Corner University. And this is a glimpse into the life of someone who's trying to be the best version of themselves. A little bit of a different video. We've done day in the life, we've done training breakdowns, we've talked about prep, we've talked a little bit about business. This one's going to be more so, in the motivational vein, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what I'm going to call these segments, but as you saw, today was check-in day with Coach. Body weight is the lowest it's been, 210.2, which is funny because it's the lightest I've been since I was like 22 years old. I'm 38 for contrast. He's happy, took away a little bit of food, some changes to the supplements, and we're gonna roll with it. 13 days till show day, and I'm really happy with where I'm at. When it comes to how I'm feeling about this prep, how I'm feeling about this show, my look is better than my first show. I'm performing better in every aspect. I'm showing up for everybody around me. I'm being present in my relationship. We're still able to enjoy some fun stuff. We just hung out with another couple this weekend. That to me is the most important. It's all great to push yourself and, get uncomfortable and all of these things, which we'll talk about. But if you're not showing up for the people around you, in my opinion, none of that stuff matters. Now, my view around prep is very simple. My view around training in general, nutrition, personal growth is very simple. We have to manufacture hardship in our life. In general, life is easy, right? We have immediate access to food. We have immediate access to shelter. We have immediate access to literally anything that we want, even information if we want to learn. So putting yourself in a position to feel uncomfortable is the best opportunity that we have for personal growth. And if there's one thing that I want to be remembered for in life, it's always pursuing the best version of myself and helping others do the same. That's the entire mission of Master Athletic Performance. Our coaching company is to use training and nutrition as a vehicle for personal development. So I wanted to just hop on here and talk about a few different things that have been on my mind. The first one being radical self-ownership. People think of radical self-ownership and they think, about Jocko Willink and discipline equals freedom, and that's true. But to me, it means owning every aspect of your life, never being a victim of circumstance, always understanding that you have control in the way that you respond to the things in your life. Now, the most empowering phrase that we can use is, I have control, I can make change, I can take action. And if we approach life in that manner, truth be told, it reduces your stress to a large degree because you stop fighting circumstance. Life is going to happen at the speed of life. And if bad things happen to you or you face challenges and you perpetually try to fight against them, you're going to be in a position where you feel out of control because you feel like life is happening to you. Ultimately, life is happening for you. It's happening as an opportunity for you to showcase who you are in these points of hardship. You can't change what you don't own. So if you don't own the responsibility of action, you can't make any changes. So if you don't like where you are in your life, or your business isn't going the way that it's going, you have control to change it. You may not know what that change needs to be, but you have the opportunity to seek help. You have the opportunity to take action to make that change. There is a reason why I operate 2 businesses. I have 5 coaches who work with me along with my wife, so that's 6. And I can still do my cardio every day. I can still train 5 days a week. I can still go to the range. That's because I own every aspect of my life, from my schedule to my boundaries to my time management. All of these things are within my control, and I take full advantage of everything that I have at my disposal. I use my resources to free up my time to do the things that are most important. Does that mean that it's always been this way? No, it's been a perpetual learning experience for me. But because I own every aspect of it, it's provided me the opportunity to architecture a life that I truly enjoy and I'm fulfilled by. That also comes down to the way that we speak. So one of my favorite quotes, I have a lot of favorite quotes, but one of my favorite quotes is, be careful what you say because you might believe it. You grow through what you say out loud. Language is so powerful because language is the way that we conceptualize reality. It's the word picture of what we're seeing. So those hard conversations that you have to have with yourself to get you to a point where you are in control. A great example, if you don't want to do something, say you fall short and you didn't have time to do this thing. I didn't have time lacks ownership. I didn't make time takes ownership because it allows you the opportunity to learn, change your schedule, and make the time. I don't have time for that. Or I'm sorry, I can't prioritize that right now. One is control, one is absent of control. Most people avoid discomfort and stay stuck because they talk to themselves in a way that lacks control and accountability. Most people can't build confidence because they don't face their own bullshit. Most people miss out on growth because they're afraid to be uncomfortable, and owning things in your life is very uncomfortable. And it starts with the way that you speak to yourself. The other thing with that is, we talk about hardship, we talk about owning your words and choosing your language. Truth be told, there is no perfect. People use the word optimal all the time. They say, oh, this is the optimal exercise, this is the optimal foods to eat, or, this is the optimal way to organize your schedule. Optimal doesn't mean perfect, and it's often conflated as perfect. Optimal means doing the best you can with what you have where you're at, right? It's making the best choice most of the time for a really long time. That's what optimal means. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a perfect product. There will never be a perfect service. If you try to make something perfect in the context of a service delivery, you put together the most beautiful spreadsheets and all these educational lessons and this email flow that's beautiful, and then you put it out and your clients don't like it. Guess what? It's not perfect. To me, the person who calls themselves a perfectionist is someone who is giving themselves an excuse to procrastinate, because you don't decide what's perfect. Your clients decide what's perfect. Your audience decides what's perfect. Your potential customers decide what perfect is. Your goal is to put out a product that serves a purpose. You gather feedback and then you iterate upon that. That is how success happens. You do not wait for the perfect time. You do not wait for the perfect circumstance. We hear it from our clients all the time. They say, oh, I can't devote the time to working on this with my full energy. Cool. Why don't we work together to find out what you can do? Find out how we can get you to a point where you can devote yourself. To me, that's what coaching is. Coaching is getting yourself to a position where you can actually help someone make change. When we look at growth through what we say out loud, when we look at ownership, when we look at not waiting for the perfect version of it, starts with changing your identity, becoming the person who. I am competing in a bodybuilding show, so my identity, my habits, my behaviors are that of somebody who is competing in a bodybuilding show. So instead of thinking, I need to do X, Y, and Z, think, I need to become the person who does X, Y, and Z. I need to become the person who prioritizes X, Y, and Z. A fantastic way to look at this is if you had to rank your top 5 priorities in your life, but you cannot say yes to something below if it affects something above. So for example, if I rank family as number 1, but then I choose to work instead of going to a family dinner, that's not in line with my priorities. So for me, my top priority is myself. My next priority is my wife and my family. My next priority is my training and nutrition. My next priority is my business. So I will never say yes to business if it affects anything above that. Now, you might think, well, that's silly. You, myself, my wife, my family, my training and nutrition, and then my business. So someone who owns 2 businesses is quite successful. We are over $500,000 in gross revenue per year. For me to rank business as number 5 might seem silly, but the reason my business thrives is because I take care of those 4 priorities above. When you're talking about ownership and you're talking about perfect, it comes down to priorities. Priorities will clarify everything. And a lot of the anxiety that you feel about the things in your life are because you do not have your priorities in line. And so the last thing I want to talk about is discipline. Discipline for me is something that gets spoken about a lot. People will tell me, oh my God, I wish I was as disciplined as you. Or, oh, you must have so much discipline to eat the way you're eating, train the way you're training. I don't see it as having discipline because these are just things that So I don't think discipline is the end goal. I think habits are the end goal, and I think identity is the end goal. My identity is someone who eats the way I eat, trains the way I train, operates the way I operate. So it doesn't take me discipline to do those things. Discipline is just self-respect in action, right? If you respect yourself, you respect your priorities, and you respect your goals, you will be disciplined in your actions to the point where you eventually become the person who does those things. Motivation fades, standards stick. I'm not motivated to be at the gym right now. I'm not motivated to wake up at 5 in the morning or I've been waking up at 3:34 in the morning because that's what time I'm waking up because I'm so hungry and depleted. It doesn't take me discipline to still walk to my desk and start working. It's just what I do. This is my routine. These are my habits. It's my identity. I'm someone who does that. You wouldn't ghost a friend, so why would you ghost on your own goals? This is one of my most important strategies for young business owners is when you set meetings with a client, you would never miss them. So why are you missing training sessions? Why are you missing meals? Why are you missing cardio sessions? Treat yourself with the same self-respect that you do the people around you. Be the person who shows up and be the person who shows up for yourself. You ultimately decide what the ceiling is on your own life. And that happens based on all the things that we've talked about today. You are not going to be the same person tomorrow as you were yesterday. You are not going to be the same person in 10 years that you were 10 years ago. You should be becoming the best version of yourself every single day. That whole idea of 1% better. Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot because not every day is a perfect day, but you can always learn something. And if you take accountability for that and you take ownership and you take action and you speak to yourself with respect and you change your identity to become the person who improves themselves every day, you will be better every day. I hope this was valuable. I know it's probably a bit of a rant, but these are the things that I think about. These are the things that are on my mind. This is just sharing my personal philosophies on life. And hopefully it'll give you a glimpse into the things that I do and think about that have allowed me to be successful. If you want more videos like this, please let me know. If there are certain subjects you'd like me to speak about, comment below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm gonna go hit this push workout, bang out 30 minutes of cardio, and then we've got a full day of check-ins with our clients. Talk to you soon.